So, Cormac, what have you been doing?
Work. I've
Whose work? Whose work you been doing, Cormac?
Not my work. Somebody else's work that believed before they were ducking out on vacation that their work was done.
They believe that, or they intentionally didn't do it
No,
and
I don't
and
think
knew
that there
it.
was. I feel they thought they were done, but they
Look at
didn't
you. You're
realize
giving
that they
them the
were.
benefit of the doubt, but you're the
I
one
got to,
left
but
to
but I'm the
sweep up the
one.
pieces.
There's a lot of pieces.
There's
A
a
lot
lot
of.
of pieces. Many pieces, he says as he grumbles and pushes the push broom across the floor. Many
Do you
pieces.
remember? Do you remember the
This is like
scene?
reminds me of the guy in the basement with the red stapler. This is my stapler. You just
Yeah.
go-
No. Do you remember the scene in one of the best Christmas movies, even though they claim that it's not a Christmas movie?
I'm sure they do now.
No, they still argue that it's not a Christmas movie. What okay, before
I know
what
you're talking
Christmas
about
movie?
Die Hard. You're talking about Die
Yes.
Hard.
Okay, so remember the scene in Die Hard where John McClane is barefoot.
Yes.
And so
Oh, oh,
they just exactly you know where I'm
oh.
going. So then they decide to shoot up all of the glass and all that other stuff, and then he has to like walk through all the glass, get bloody feet and all that
That's
other
you.
stuff. And that's where I'm at right now.
You're also going to be the grumbly guy in the basement from Office Space,
Exactly.
in the little cubicle, who's just
Yeah.
yeah,
Milton.
Milton owning the
Yep.
stapler. Yeah. Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get a big bonus at the end of the year for all this extra work that you're doing, and it'll be actually paid directly by the people the other company who didn't meet the deadline and do the work. You're doing it for them on their behalf as a good steward, and it's going to go into the good guy column
You
at
you
the end of
say
the year
that
when it
as if
comes to
it's not
bonuses.
you say that as if it's not us.
I don't know who it is. I thought it was
Us.
a third party consultant. Oh, even worse.
Us.
At least you have some say when they come back and you're, hey, what about that thing you didn't
You
do?
remember that thing that
Yeah.
that we were supposed to have been done with, but wasn't quite done? But what do you do in a case like that?
You hold them accountable to it somehow.
Well,
You gotta.
yes, of course. I I
Mm.
I, I understand what you're saying there, but
You
also
you
just
get time off when they come back. That's what happened. I think that maybe is that how it works?
is that how it works? I don't recall.
And they get to do your job at that point, right? Because you did their job.
Speak.
Sweet, yes.
Oh, no. You got more punching to do next week.
Do you?
Yes.
We have so many episodes about punching buildings at this point.
Yes. That's
I
why.
can't believe you're up
That's why
for
I
more.
have to wear like.
You've got, yeah. Look at you. It's like you're a punching in training, a puncher in training with your
I have these like
gloves on.
it's a menu of braces. Like which
You
one would
got
you
all
like?
the braces.
Do you want the hard plastic brace? Do you want the soft glovey brace? Or do you want I have a third, although I can't show it to you because it's on the other side of the room, which is the brace that like immobilizes your wrist.
Uh, it's called the agedness. You have it.
It is called the agedness that I have.
I'm sorry,
It is
sir.
the
You contracted the agedness.
There was a comedian that basically had a skit that said something to the effect of when you go to the doctor after 40, they're like, hey, doc, my shoulder hurts. It's like, well, yeah, because you're 40. Like, well, what are we going to do about it? Nothing. 'Cause-
Right. We're gonna let you slowly deteriorate until you're gone.
exactly. Yeah, this
Right.
is just part of the fact that you are going to be, you're just old.
And
Just
desk
old.
ridden, like you've chosen this life. You've chosen to just so okay. So I mean this is a good segue. Look at that.
There we go.
I've been doing some fun stuff in my shop. I finally got my shop. I got a car out of the shop. which gave me space to use the shop
Excellent.
for some projects where I'm physically using my hands, physically using my brain, even
Hand and brain?
Do a fun project. Yeah,
Wait, you're doing hand and brain?
yeah, hand and brain.
I'm assuming you're not chewing gum at the same time, though.
Nope, no way.
Okay.
I can't do that.
Don't want to burn you out.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to talk about something different because we're tired of all your project work anniversaries over here on this side of things. People have been rolling their eyes at all your
we don't
long
want to hear
project
any more of that.
anniversaries.
They're like, yeah, whatever. We all lived through it.
Right.
Let's hear something good. Tell me something good.
Nice. Yeah, so this all started over Christmas. Where are we now? We're in the middle of April. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the ironic start of this project.
Okay.
So I guess I need to give a little bit of background. So, okay, my shop, I have this separate building on my property that was always intended to be a shop. It was actually one of the things I really wanted to have when I moved from Southern California, was a property with a shop. And that shop immediately turned into long-term storage because I've been here for 3 years now. And it's been entirely full of crap. And so then finally a project revealed itself or made itself available to change that situation. So my daughter-in-law has a Dodge ProMaster, like a delivery van that she turned into a camper van, like a hashtag van life camper van. And
there you go.
This van life camper van has been nothing but problems for her. And I think there's various reasons why she bought it used. It was a diesel, which are both fine, except that this particular model of Dodge ProMaster camper van also has lots of issues, transmission problems especially, and has left her stranded many a times after dumping tons of money into it. So she decided, I think it must have been like last November-ish, that she was going to buy a new van, like the same van, but the new model, and not a diesel with all the problems, and then take all the stuff in her existing camper van and just move it over to the new, just do the switcheroo, right? And just scrap it.
Because that sounds easy.
It is easy, right? I mean, I guess we should have put air quotes around that. But it was one of those things where she thought it was going to be easy. And how many days do you think she thought that would take to do?
I'm thinking that was either a weekend project or something close to it.
3 days. 3 days was the answer.
Let me just say that this is what HGTV has done to the world.
Magical thinking. Yes,
exactly.
How long did it take her to do the first van? Untold numbers of days. But to switch it all out into the new van, 3 days. Now, my wife and I offered to host her to come out. She drove the new van out here, which she bought on the East Coast. We are on the West Coast. She drove it out here. The old van was already here. Complete other saga involved to get that old van here because it's in limp mode and it left her stranded in Salt Lake City as she was driving it to the East Coast. My wife and I went out. The short version is we drove out with a truck and trailer, picked it up and drove it back here.
I was going to say
in a marathon.
Did it get back to your place on its own steam or somebody else's steam?
Yeah, no, it was on the back of my buddy's big flatbed trailer that we hauled out there. And let me tell you, that's not a fun drive to go from Oregon to Salt Lake City across nothing for 16 hours of driving. It's terrible. But we did it. And we brought that van here, so it was waiting for her. And then she thought, okay, I'm going to come out over Christmas break. She had a week off, and we're just going to slam this out. And she was going to drive back to the East Coast in a brand new camper van.
I mean, that sounds legit. I mean,
it sounds totally doable, right?
Tell me the reasons why you couldn't get it done in 3 days.
There you go. Let's hear your sad story.
Exactly.
All of this just preamble to say like, oh, it's actually fun to be working out in the shop and not sitting at a computer all the time, right?
I mean,
Which I think
you
some
got
of the
that.
audience would appreciate. I think that
Yeah.
we've got some tinkerers, some people, some makers, some people who at least long to be
Right.
building things and making things because I mean there is an aspect of that to what we do in the profession, right? Like so most of the time we're doing it in I guess it used to be physical models and then 3D models and sometimes some kind of mock-ups and maybe some
Yeah.
prototyping, 3D printing, maybe some laser cutting. I don't know. Like there's all kinds of ways in which we start to put things together, but I haven't done any kind of like remodeling projects here for a while. And so this was just one of those things where it's like, oh, I really do have the tools. I really can help her do it. And she can be involved in that process and see that it's going to take a hell of a lot longer than 3 days to do this thing.
Yeah.
Because, and now this is where I created some of my own problems here, which were like, wouldn't you want to do it a little differently if you did it again? Like if you were going to do a project again, okay, this is
Should,
where architects are, right? We're going to do it better this time,
yeah.
right? Like it's got to be better this time,
There was the half
right?
or the whole ass. And you went whole.
I like to go whole ass over here. Yes, for sure. And what's interesting about that is just how many things that changes, right? If by
Yeah.
this is the opening the can of worms or the trickle down effect, however you want to kind of frame it, but it's like okay, before she had these panels kind of inset into the structural ribs of the van in with because this van is just metal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a
Yeah.
metal shell, and you literally have to do everything. You have to build the floor up from nothing with insulation. You've got to insulate the walls. You've got to insulate inside the pillars, even in
Yeah.
the walls, or
Yeah.
else you're going to get some major
Did
thermal transfer and all
did
that
you
kind of
use
stuff.
like the sound deadening wrap?
She did on the old van. She decided not to on this van because she actually
Oh, they're just
said
gonna
it didn't
ruin it.
help. It didn't help.
No, no,
So,
you put it together with all of the other stuff.
yeah, well, you've got to do it all, right? And it's a
Yes.
big expense. So there was that involved as well. I mean, she just basically bought a whole new van so that and is just going to scrap the old one. So it's a huge loss. I mean, I was surprised that she even wanted to do this project at all, but she really wants to have this thing. So yeah, I mean, we spent all of Christmas, which was 4 days, solid, like 16-hour days working on this van. Completely changed kind of the design though with this interior. We went with the full cedar lining inside, which is very nice, smells
Yeah.
amazing, looks beautiful, and it just makes everything different about the project, right? So you can't take the stuff out of the old van and just put it in the new van when you're building a completely different interior lining. So anyway, at some point, it was like, there's no way, we're working our asses off. It's 20 degrees outside over that time period and raining, right, while we're doing it. And so hilarity ensues, and we didn't get as far as she thought we could get, we got way farther than I thought we were going to get in 4 days. But instead of sending her home with not even halfway done van, an eighth of a way done van,
Wait, 3 days.
4 days.
So 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
You started in December.
Yep.
It is April.
Yes.
It's not done.
Nope, not yet. But
I believe your math.
It's not
What I'm
like
getting
we've
at,
been.
what I'm getting at is your math's wrong. just an eighth. You didn't get an eighth of the way through in 4 days. If you are 4 months into it,
Well, 4 months into it has been me ignoring that project, right? Because
that's
she's
part
not
of it.
here.
That's
She's not
part of it.
here to help anymore either, right? So
Help.
it's when can I find time to work on this project and how much is that legitimately, how much time can I actually put into it outside of actual work getting done too? And the property and springtime and 2 foot tall grass growing and having et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like just the things.
Let's not forget your annual adventures of Poison Oak.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, so here we are in middle of April and trying to spend at least one day a week on this van, which is hard, still
Yeah.
difficult, and still making changes and like, oh my gosh. Anyway, it's been an ordeal, but it also has been really great to not be sitting at a
Oh
computer all the
yeah,
time or
absolutely.
and just making stuff and actually getting my shop more in order than it's ever been before. And but a buddy of mine actually donated a ton of shelving to me, so we
Yeah,
got to
cool.
put together a bunch of racks and actually get stuff up off the floor, and that helped a ton. So it's just been one of those things where progress is being made,
That's
and
good.
it's getting to justify the owning of these tools and actually use them and
Yeah.
find new ways of doing things. I mean, one of the things that's really interesting about like fabrication, right? Because that's what basically what the stage is that we're at is nothing is at a right angle in one of these cars, right? In a van,
No.
nothing is at a right angle. Nothing is 90 degrees. I mean, some things barely, but barely. And so, what do you do when you need to make cedar siding go around a corner? And
I
you
am
know,
totally surprised that you did not 3D scan this and then CNC the wood into the proper shape
I would have
that you,
had to have had a lot of very expensive equipment to do that.
I mean,
It would have been really cool.
oh, so now we're down to quarter ass.
Yeah, no, that would be that. Yeah, that would be whole assing for sure if you were doing that.
Yes.
And she actually contracted with the shop up in Eugene when she was going to school there to do the cabinetry for the van. This
Okay.
guy specializes in doing these kinds of conversions, but he did it for Sprinter vans, I think exclusively, maybe Ford, but not Dodge. And so he worked with her to develop his system that would work in the Dodge one for like a discounted rate. So
I was
I
gonna
don't have
say
to
there's-
build
please-
I don't have to
please
build
tell me there's a
cabinets and
discounted rate.
stuff, but I mean
But you
there's a
have
whole
to,
saga in that.
because you would have to build the shell, like all of your fittings need to then conform to his cabinetry.
Right, right.
So it's almost like instead of you building and then him coming out and measuring like we would do in architecture, it's the other way around. Is like, here's the system that he's going to be putting in. You've got to kind of build to that. Is
I have
that
to make sure that the stuff that he has that he had put in the old van will actually even fit in the new van because we're changing the way that his stuff will interface with
right? Yeah,
building.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that sound crazy, but actually somewhat rewarding too. Because I mean, think about this. I mean, not only are you doing that, and I mean that's when your brain cells like really get pumping. When you got to
Totally.
kind of like figure that out.
This is a puzzle. It literally is like a 4D puzzle. And I think that's what is so cool about doing a project like this is it really takes me back to design build, right? Which was fabrication. It's like design and fabrication and installation and event. There's like this the client in this case is my daughter-in-law. My goal is to make her cry. Like that's my goal. I want her to cry tears of joy, not
Okay.
tears of frustration. I don't want her
I
to
mean,
regret this.
Dude,
So
why
yeah,
are you being a
don't take it the
jerk,
wrong way.
man. I want her to cry.
I told my wife the other day, like my goal is to make her cry. Like when she opens this van up, that is just like, oh my God. Because like we are literally going to the nth degree to make things
Awesome.
how we would want them. And like this isn't I'm not cutting corners because I'm some
Well, you can't
assembly
because
line.
there's no 90 degrees.
There's no literally every corner has to be cut because
Exactly.
nothing is at 90 degrees with a bandsaw or a jigsaw because
Right.
nothing comes together perfectly. But yeah, I mean that's a complicated part of this puzzle really is all of the rounded edges and all of the complex curves and making things. And it's rather terrifying to cut giant holes in the sheet metal on the outside of a van. Like you only get to do that once, right?
Yeah.
As you're cutting. Like I've got a cutting wheel and I'm cutting and sparks are flying and you're like, please, like I've measured this
Please
4
be
times,
right.
and you still have doubts that it's going to be
Please
right.
be right. Please be right. Please
Yes,
be right. Please be right.
I can't make the hole smaller later. I can only make
Yeah.
it bigger. Right.
It's like when you go to get a haircut, it's just like I can take hair off, but I can't put it back on.
At least it'll grow back. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the saving grace there. There's not that option when you're cutting holes in the side of a van. And I still have one giant hole to cut. It's a big ass window. It's like 24 by 42. It's this $1,000 window that she bought and put in the old van. And it's like, you have a ton of responsibility, especially when it's not your van,
Yeah.
to do it right.
So the old van was junk, but had really nice stuff on it.
Yeah.
And now you have a really nice van that you're
Yeah.
moving all of those really nice parts to.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, when it's all done, it's going to be amazing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's super cool. Like actually that one of the nice things is my wife and I are going to drive to meet her somewhere in the middle of the US, probably like Eastern Colorado. So we have like a road trip coming up where we're
Gotcha.
going to swap cars back, because my solution was, well, your van's nowhere near done. And if she would have taken it, it would not have gotten finished. Like she's got a full-time job. She
Right.
doesn't have any of the tools. She doesn't have a garage. She doesn't have any like real means to make this project happen. So I had this epiphany one day, like Christmas morning or whatever. And it was like, you take our Subaru back to the East Coast and we'll keep the van and finish the van. And then at
Gotcha.
some point we'll meet up and swap back. And so we get to use the van as the first users of it when it's
You know where that swap has got to occur, right?
done.
Glacier.
Tell me. Well, we're not. She's in Georgia. I wish.
No,
That's a little out of the way.
Wait, she's in Georgia now?
She's in Georgia now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So driving to Eastern Colorado is about as far as I think I'm willing to go. So, I mean, after that, the drive just gets
when it basically
brutally boring.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let her do that part.
I did that one with Kid One. And once you got out of the mountains of Colorado and you hit that eastern, it just went flat.
Yep.
And then it's just like, yeah, this is what I've got for basically until you got to the Appalachians, it was flat.
Yeah.
Just flat.
Yeah, some of those states have like rolling hills and greenery, but some of them don't. Like Wyoming, actually, before Colorado, is brutally boring. So I drove out through Wyoming to go get the van, right? So to pick up the broken van. So
I'm glad you're saying this too, because I also have that southern trip, that summer trip coming up with the
But
daughter.
you're going to go up north, right? You're going to go up north on the way back.
Yeah, but like how I still there's still some states that are going to be flat once I get past like
You're going to go
You know.
through like, are you going through North Dakota or what?
yeah, we they want to hit the Dakotas.
You've got some flat time ahead of you. That's for sure.
Got some flat time.
You got some flat time.
You could be like, great.
So one of the things
so
that
forward to that.
that is different about working in a shop than working on a computer is like you can literally cut your fingers off just about 100 times a day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Table saw, band saw, jigsaw, chop saw, all the saws, circular saws. Yeah, there's lots
All
of
the
saws.
saws.
Oh, cutting wheels, cutting through metal. Yeah, I think that's probably, it's like just, I'm going to bone up on YouTube watching table saw safety videos a little bit here and scare myself enough to actually pay attention and buy the right tools to make sure I don't get close to the blade. I've definitely gotten way too close to the blade in previous. It's like, oh yeah, I can justify this. It's just one cut. I'm not willing to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like when you're on like the jigsaw or the bandsaw and you're like spinning it around and everything else, and it's just like your fingers are just like you even feel like the side of the bandsaw like as you're like zipping through there and all that other stuff. And nowadays it's like, how far away can I actually get from that blade,
Right.
and still do the cuts that I need to cut?
Yep.
Because yeah, I hear you. It's just like Like
investing in like
I've
push sticks and all kinds of things now to make sure that I
or
am nowhere near that
the auto cut off
blade.
blades
I
that
can't afford the saw stop. Yeah, the one that when the hot dog touches the blade, it automatically stops. Yeah, I
yeah
can't afford
yeah.
that saw.
So now you're down to like 16th past, which is
Yeah,
about as close as you are to being done with this thing.
I know, and it's like every little thing you're just like you can't actually. So this is something I think that's different from drawing stuff, right? As an
Hmm.
architect, you draw stuff, and at some level, you're at least it used to be even more like this, right? It was like I'm going to rely on the mechanical or the HVAC subcontractor to
Yeah,
actually figure that out because that's their job, right?
but yeah.
Now we have to have zero clash models and all this
Mm,
BS, right? Where it's like you have
mm,
like it has to be all figured out ahead of time.
yeah.
So we've made projects more complex. I mean, how many times before was an HVAC drawing an RCP with single line diagrams of layouts for
Yeah,
duct runs, right? Like
exactly. Yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
used to be. So now, not I. It's
Guess
like
what you are? You
I
are
actually no, I actually have to figure the whole freaking thing out. Like I
you
can't
are
just say
officially
I
by
can't kick
others.
the. Yeah, I am by others. I am a refer. I am referred to installer or structural.
Exactly.
So the thing is, it's like you can't kick the can down the road or just depend on somebody else to solve that problem. It's like you literally have to do the whole thing. And so it's amazing how many brain cycles go into solving all of these little issues and how long that actually takes because I
Right.
don't do this every day.
Right.
I
Right. And you're going to like it would take you let's just say it would take somebody who's doing this and reasonably competent, and I'm not saying you're not, because I know you are, but they
I'm
would say,
offended.
okay, I said are competent, not are not.
I
Okay,
was
come
reading
to
between the lines.
yeah, no. Where the line said is that whereas somebody would do this and they'd be like, okay, this is good enough. You don't have that. You don't have that.
No.
Okay, this is good enough. No. You're like, I've got to figure all of this out. It's got to be perfect. I got to do this, and so you're ensuring that everything's right. You've got the anal retentiveness of the architect that you
I'm
are,
offended again.
that
Don't use those
you.
descriptors on me.
But it's true. It's true
I
that
do,
you
and
want to
actually,
make sure it's right.
my wife doesn't listen to this podcast, but she's even worse,
Yeah.
and it's her daughter's van, so it's got to be even more perfect. And she's like of German descent, so the precision comes out when she.
It
Why
must
isn't this
be.
perfect? Why this can be a 32nd of an inch better, right? Like she's at that level. And but yeah, it's like you cut a piece and it's not right. Guess what? Like you're not going to make it work. You're going to do it again, and you have to because if you start doing that, those mistakes compound over time because
True. Yeah.
you only are in this very
Yeah,
limited
because
space.
now like instead of you cutting it right and then the next one will be right, the next one will be right, it's you cut that one that's not quite right, and then every other one has to be customized to the mistake you've already made.
And I can't even tell you how many times I've assumed that these two things I can cut them at the same time
Yeah.
because they're the same,
Yes.
and then you put them up in place, and it's like,
You're like,
oh, I
what?
didn't think of that, and
Exactly. Yeah.
now I have to get creative about how I'm going to use this piece somewhere else because I just cut it too
Yeah.
short for this application,
You're like,
and
can I
it's
use this
otherwise
somewhere
waste.
else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real quickly, did I happen to mention on the last episode when I was talking about the glass factory visit that they were talking about, so your wife would absolutely love this. They were talking about the precision that they can get is up to a half a millimeter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, contractors will never get that close. I mean, that we're talking about
Never.
real world installation conditions
Oh yeah.
where
We had a eighth inch and quarter inch joint depending on where like these glass that this glass that we were using would go based off of like the frame and everything else. And they couldn't keep them straight because it's just like, that's just too tight of a tolerance for this finished material and stuff. So that's kind of what you're saying is like, you gotta make sure it's all like thought through.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times you can't do that until you get the wrong piece up there to see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my reality, at least. I'm sure there's better ways to do it. But yeah, like it's interesting because I didn't 3D scan this. That would have been cool. But then I would have spent a ton of time in the computer to figure stuff out and then translating that back to actual cuts of actual pieces and then having to maybe produce drawings to do that, or at least having the laptop and measuring off the model. Like that comes with its own set of issues, right? Yeah. And trade-offs.
Well, I mean,
versus doing it in person.
Exactly. It comes with the 4-month or 4-year project.
Yeah.
It's like, how much more time are you going to spend on just trying to figure things out, make sure it's right, all that other stuff? I mean, I will say that sometimes the beauty of working with lumber is you can measure as many times as you want. You can cut it. You can fit it. It doesn't quite fit. You shave a little bit off, make it, oops, I cut it a little too much. Maybe I could shim it. So it's just like, I can make it work.
Wood filler, caulk, all the good stuff.
There you go.
I think you can spend a lot of time in design so that the construction part goes faster, or you can spend less time in design and solve problems during construction, which is why it reminds me of the design build days, because when I did design build, you prepared drawings for approval. You did not prepare drawings for construction because we were doing the fabrication in the building.
Yeah.
And so we knew that we were going to be drawing these things in more detail when we needed to, not ahead of time.
The drawings were close enough.
Yeah, they're good enough to get an approval, right? Like that's the point. Like especially when you want to move fast.
Yeah.
You can't spend 4 years getting into all those details and all that stuff when you can figure it out. We'll figure this out later. That's a later problem. And so that's what this is, but even at another level, which is like in real time, you're holding the piece up, or you've got the tape measure, and you're trying to figure out the angles like by actually working in the space. Because even if I could have laser scanned it, I mean, there's a lot of laser scanners that are super precise, but what's available and can I get it? And what do I want to buy? And what do I actually want to learn how to use, right? Yeah. Because there's a whole learning curve that comes with that stuff. Yeah.
You've watched
hire a consultant, hire a real professional to do it. That would have been awesome too, but I didn't want to spend 4 months in Rhino.
This is DIY.
Designing all these pieces.
This is DIY. This is punk. This is and it's going to not only is it enriching for your soul to just get back to creating something with your hands. But again, as you said, big goal, you're away from the computer a lot more.
I'm away from the desk. I'm away from the away from the low light basement.
From the desk. Exactly.
Getting out in the elements. Yeah. Vampire. Anyway, yeah. I mean, we're probably an eighth of a way done now.
Eighth of the way.
Yep. Maybe more. I don't know. I mean, I don't have to build any cabinets.
Well, there you go.
It's not fun running lots of wiring through channels and cavities and all that kind of stuff that are sharp metal edges and things like that. And anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've got to figure out how to put card readers into some all glass
wireless. Not really secure then, is it?
I mean, they have wireless.
I know. I'm sure they do.
They
got to have some serious security and encryption going when you do that. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's all because they're just and nothing's fit for. It's not electric hardware fit. It's because we weren't doing it. And now we are.
Yeah, I was going to say, what changed?
Minds.
Things changed
Minds.
later,
But look, I get it. I get it.
you'll figure something out, but
Use,
it's
use
not going to be
type,
the most
yeah.
elegant.
Exactly. Use types changed and all that other stuff. And I get it. It's one of those things that now it's just an interesting puzzle to solve. It's like, okay, how do you do this with something that's already installed without having to uninstall things or rip things out and all that other stuff? So it'll be a fun challenge.
Yeah, fun.
Fun challenge.
The life of an architect. That's a fun challenge.
That's true. I mean, that's kind of the thing that you're doing right now, right? Is like the challenge for you is you're doing mobile architecture. You're making
Mobile architecture.
You're making a tiny house.
Yep, tiny house on wheels that goes 80 miles an hour down the freeway. Yeah.
That's
If this
crazy.
van's a rockin', don't come a knockin'.